What's good? It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. We back with the early morning grind, boxing clinic, and more. And apparently, Dmitry Bivol, promoter, has to come to grips that Bivol might have to face fellow countryman Sergey Kovalev. Said that Kovalev is a great guy, and but it might just boil down to him fighting his fighter, Dmitry Bivol. And Kovalev promoter said the same thing. Kathy Duval said if Kovalev gonna have to go see Dmitry Bivol. It's a great action-packed fight potentially. And it's the best of both worlds because we're going to see how Kovalev come back in a couple weeks versus Savansky in New York at MSG. And we seen a glimpse of Bivol versus Trenton Broderhurst, who definitely wasn't on his level. And at 11 or 12 fights with 12 or 11 knockouts. People are starting to believe the hype about Bivol, but it's experience and there's levels to this. You know, to quote the great Meek Mill, it's levels to this. And you just don't go from 11 and 12 fights to fighting a seasoned pro like Kovalev. Even if Kovalev's weakness is going to the body, he still is a champion at the end of the day. He still is experienced. He's still seasoned. He's been places in the ring and been in situations that Dmitry Bivol hasn't been. And it would be crazy to match Bivol versus Kovalev right now unless he looks super vulnerable versus Savansky or loses to Savansky and they just want to use him as a stepping stone. But this definitely is a fight that's boiling, that's burning hot. And if they make it happen next, they make it happen next. I think Sullivan Barrera would be too much for Bivol right now myself, but Bivol has proven to be a talented individual. But is he ready for a Kovalev or Barrera? I think not. I think they need to season him some more. But they have big hopes and they believe in his ability. And we'll see, man. You know, they want to put him in there with Kovalev. It don't seem that main events is too hyped about putting Kovalev in there with Sullivan Barrera. Maybe because Barrera, wants the title shot. He wants X amount of money. He feels that he took short change for his last few fights, proving himself. And he wants a big title shot that's coming with the money. So maybe main events already knows that, Barrera's going to be difficult to deal with Kovalev, especially with Kovalev used to getting A-side money. And it can't be two A-sides to the story. So, maybe if, Kovalev gets a belt, Barrera will pipe down his money dreams, real talk, and just get to this world title. Or, potentially he takes a world title fight versus Bivol. I'm pretty sure HBO will be interested in buying all three of the fights. Barrera versus either one of them two or them two versus Barrera. But they got a lot of hopes for Bivol, man. A lot of people hype about Bivol. He's a good fighter. But I just don't think he's ready for a Kovalev. We'll see in a couple weeks how Kovalev looks. I'm not expecting anything short of spectacular performance versus Savansky because Savansky is made to order for Kovalev for the most part. He got a soft chin. He already been asleep by Barrera. He ain't did nothing since losing to Barrera, so it's all set up for Kovalev to look good. But you never know. I told you Andre Ward took his bully soul. He took his ability. And let's see if Kovalev can bounce back. To quote Mystical, they keep bumping him against the wall. Let's see if he going to bounce back. But I'm not sure if he can bounce back. I'm not put any stock into him, I think Ward took something away from him. People see that he's a quitter on film. That's going to make people go even more harder knowing that it's quitter in his blood. He got a new trainer. He doing pirouettes in the middle of the boxing ring, working on balance and coordination. He seems to have a vodka alcohol problem, according to John David Jackson. And, he can't get right, And if he don't get right now, he was in the spiritual mountains, some mountains, trying to get right with his spirit. And if he ain't right after all this he done this, between the Ward fight, he ain't gonna never get right again. And Bivol might be picking on this flower at the right time in Kovalev. It might make a nice little name off itself. And if they want to do it next year, let's make it happen. Bivol feel that he can jump over some levels and go straight to Kovalev. We'll see. And if Savansky win, maybe Bivol will take on Savansky in the unification bout. But Bivol's promoter, I'm gonna leave the article in the link, wants a unification bout pretty soon. They want to get all the belts. They think he's ready for that type of step, and we'll see. I don't think he's ready. That's my opinion. I could be wrong. I have been wrong in the past, but I think Kovalev gonna have a few things to say about that. And so is Sullivan Barrera and Adonis Stevenson and Badou Jack. We out.